What is Row on 5? Row on 5 is refinement of work, the acronym, which means our work's never done. Very much like a tailor shop, where if you're having a suit made, every stitch has got to be thought about, every piece of material, the lining, you have several fittings. It takes 9 months to make a suit, but that's why you pay a lot of money for it, right? It's the same thing here.
We're going to immerse you into a guest experience here at Row on 5.
Welcome to Row on 5. How was your day today? Before we move out to our lounge, we would like to offer you a dry cleaning as we're on Savile Row tonight while you're having dinner with us. Would you like to follow me? So welcome to our lounge, where we start the first part of the experience here. We start with the first 4 courses, introduction to the wine list, a little bit of cocktail. Chef wanted to have something very cozy, so we have basically a house kitchen behind us. If you follow me that way, we have our private dining. Here we are hosting maximum 6 people and showcasing 2,400 labels of wine.
Welcome. So here at Row, we like to source the finest ingredients that we can around the world. And in our first snack here, oyster and pearls, we are showcasing 2 of those. So the first is our Louis Fesser oysters, which are the top 3% coming from Carlingford Estate in Eastern Ireland. Now with these, we've made an oyster bavarois and glazed that in a beurre blanc sauce. Then we have our own reserve of N25 Kaluga hybrid caviar. You can see a nice thick layer underneath. And then this all sits upon our roasted nori macaroon and some English cucumber jelly. So next up here, we have our bluefin tuna. Now this comes from Cartagena in Spain. When we receive it, we then dry age it for 10 days. And then we've used it 3 ways here in this tart. So we take the bones of the tuna, roast them off to create a stock, which is then incorporated in the tart case itself. Following is the loin of the tuna, which is diced up and seasoned with some yuzu koshu. And then we have the otoro, which is the fattiest part of the tuna, but also the most flavoursome. And then we finish with some fresh Japanese wasabi and some crispy kombu.
So for your next course, you have our cheese and onion. So this is inspired by the Great British Flavour Combination and my personal favourite flavour in a packet of crisps. So we have 3 onion twirls. Inside is an onion jam, which we make by slow cooking onions with soy sauce and red wine vinegar. The cheese is a 50-month age Lincolnshire poacher from Alford in Lincolnshire. So it's crazy to think that 3.5 years before this restaurant was even a concept, this cheese was already made and aging. And then on top you have a jelly of marinated Perigord truffle. So this is your final snack and the first part of a 2-part Scottish Langoustine course. So upstairs we're going to serve you the tail, but down here we present it as a tartare. Okay, so we split our Langoustine course over 2 servings. This is the first. So we make a stock from the Langoustine heads, which we infuse into a set custard. We make a tartare from the top of the tail, which we infuse with Japanese citrus and soy sauce. And then on top we have a tosazu jelly, which we make from, again, soy sauce and rice wine vinegar. And then we finish with a selection of flowers. So we have white Alyssium flowers. I'm going to put on 3. Then shiso flowers. Then we also use some of the shiso leaves. So this gives a very subtle but still prominent shiso flavour. And then we also have some yellow chrysanthemum flowers. Here you have part 1 of our Langoustine course.
So next part of the experience will be upstairs. I hope you enjoyed the canapé. Please follow me. So welcome to the main dining. Here our guests having 8 courses in total. We really want the guests to feel like home and show them what we are doing on a daily basis. So I would say it's still a fine dining type of experience, but we want still to have very personalized, different type of service.
So this is the second part of our Langoustine dish. Now we serve the actual tail. Our Langoustines are from Inverness, so we simply poach it for 60 seconds, take it out the shell, and then we very gently glaze with a little bit of smoked vinegar. Then we take fresh yuzu to flavour. So we place our langoustine, what's been nicely glazed, on top of our Amalia tomato jelly. Amalia tomatoes coming from Japan, which are known to be the sweetest tomatoes in the world. We then make tiny little twirls from potato, just a little bit of yuzu gel which sits inside shiso flour. And then we have 2 sauces, curry leaf oil, which we emulsify So the second sauce, we make a sabayon from salted duck egg, which we salt for exactly 1 month. And then we flavour that with toasted curry leaf. And that's our version of our Singapore roasted prawn with sabayon made from salted duck egg. But this is our langoustine version.
So behind us, our champagne room. Roxanne, our head sommelier, will give you a tour.
Please come in. Here we are holding about 280 different bottles of sparkling wines. Beautiful back vintages like a 66 Bicaire Salmon Blanc de Blanc.
We have a wine cellar here, which is our cabinet, DRC cabinet, where we are showcasing the Romane Conti, all the big boys from the menu. It's also the hands of Chef Jason and Spencer, which has been molded, and all the barrels straight away from Burgundy.
May I tempt you perhaps with a glass of Chateau d'Yquem? It's considered to be liquid gold and adored by George Sand, Flaubert, Proust. It's one of the best sweet wine in the world. We used to serve it as well in a larger bottle, a Salmanazar, a 9 liter. And we continue here to finish with something very dangerous that comes close to the savoir. This is a Budget Cerdon made by Philippe and Cécile Balivet. It's a sweet bubble made of gamay with a delicate cream on the palate. And here we are highlighting the queen of the season, the wild Malaga strawberry. Santé! We move on with one of the best kept secrets of Champagne. This is a ratafia, so it's a fortified wine made by Henri Giraud with Solera wines. It's absolutely delicious. The Solera dates back from 1990 vintage and will confer to the wine a beautiful complexity. Lots of butterscotch, vanilla, cream and toast. And the younger vintage bring the balance, the freshness and acidity just to make your palate salivate. And to continue, we discover Château des Tours, La Grande Réserve 2014, delicious Côte du Rhône located in Vaqueras, on beautiful sandy soils, made by the great master Emmanuel Reynaud, who also owns Château Rayas, an iconic winery in Châteauneuf-du-Pape. It's stunning. I love it. I wish you a bonne dégustation.
In the history of Savile Row, 295 years since the row got born, or was born rather, there has never been a restaurant. So this is the very first one. I really need to do this with somebody who can throw the whole life into it alongside me.
My name's Spencer Metzger. I'm executive chef here at Row on 5. So the dish that we're going to cook today is our roasted Orkney sea scallops with XO sauce and then a beurre blanc made from sake. So for the sauce, we're going to start with a reduction. So here we've got Desai 39 sake, which we're going to put into our pan. Rice wine vinegar, and then mirin. We're going to add some diced shallot, some ginger. We then reduce that down by 2/3 to cook off the alcohol and make the base of the sauce. We're going to pass the alcohol through the chinois, bring it back to the boil, to which we're going to add a little bit of double cream. And then slowly we're going to add our diced butter to emulsify into the sauce. So to finish the sauce, we're going to add a little bit of comfy yuzu zest. This here is just being blanched. It's then being about 6 times, then confied in a very light syrup. Freshly cut chives. We're going to finish it off with a spoonful of smoked pike's roe. So our scallops here, extra large, coming from the Orkney Islands. What we do is we just take our knife here, push it to the back of the scallop, release that beautiful flesh. Peel the scallop back there, and then just run the spoon the back of the scallop. Huge in there like so. Push around really gently to remove the skirts and the roe, and out there is our scallop. In here we have the roe and then the skirt. This here we're going to put aside, we're going to dehydrate it and use that to make our XO sauce. So now we're going to take our scallop here, we're going to cut it in half. Quite a hot pan that we want to start the scallop in to get the caramelization. Season it with a little bit of sea salt. Now lay it in a pan. Once you can see the scallop's got a nice little bit of caramelization, you add your butter. We just baste the scallop as the residual heat in the pan will finish cooking it. We're going to top it off with an XO sauce. So in here we have a little bit of kanzuri chili, the rows and the skirts that have been dehydrated, cooked out with shallots, garlic, a little bit of red chili, ginger, lemongrass. Then we leave it to age in the fridge for around 2 weeks to really intensify all the flavors. We're going to top that off now with some ikura eggs. See, these have been washed in a little bit of soy, which really just softens the texture of the egg and enhances the flavor. We have here a kaffir lime. Okay, now we plate it. So to finish the plate, we take our beurre blanc here, finish with the pike roe, the comfy citrus, and the chives. Onto the plate, and then we just spread that around so it fits everything inside. We take our scallop, place that in the center. And to finish the plate, we have here a leaf of kinomi, so quite an aniseed flavor. So here we have our roasted Orkney sea scallop with XO sauce and a beurre blanc made from Desai 39 sake.
Behind us, lovely door, we have a secret room called Chef Library. Whoever wants to have privacy, regulars, VIP, or whoever wants obviously to have this lovely room for the experience.
A little extra surprise in their journey for the evening, we can use that area. On the screen that we have in there, we have a little display of the ingredients that we're showcasing on the menu. So it kind of goes through all of them, from the oysters to the tuna to the guinea fowl to the turbot. And that's when we give a little introduction to the menu to the guests before they sit down.
Some people, have said, guys, a little bit over the top. It is over the top, yeah, absolutely. But dining at this level is over the top. As a human, do we need to eat 17 courses of dinner? No, of course we don't. But that's not the point. Do you mean? That's not the point. The point is, it's a sensory overload. You're coming here to eat some of the best ingredients this country has to offer, and from abroad, with mine and Spencer's touch to them to give that magic with Roxanne's team, Nicholas's team, the service, we don't miss a chair, and it's your special time.
Once the guest has their final dessert upstairs, we then take them back down to the lounge.
Here we offer the sweet part of the experience.
Here we've reset it in a way which is, we change the candles, the lights go a little bit darker, a little bit more mysterious. There we have a digestive trolley that comes round and is offered.
And that's our petit four trolley. Good evening, my name is Conor McQuaid. I'm the pastry sous chef here at Row 15. And now we're back downstairs in the lounge, to which we're going to be serving the last part of the menu, which is going to be followed by our tea and cake course.
We serve quite a British classic tea and cake, and with sourced sugar coming from Kyoto in Japan, so it's called Okinawa sugar.
Here we have our black Okinawa sugar and hazelnut financiers. We've baked these in the oven for around 6 to 7 minutes, just as the guest is coming back down to finish their journey. Our warm baked a la minute Oswaldo chocolate tart. So here we have our warm baked Oswaldo chocolate tart, finished out with a little bit of smoked olive oil, malt and salt. To accompany that, we have our hazelnut black Okinawa sugar financiers. Assisting them is 2 tea creams. So the first is a rare Chinese Keeman. We've just dusted with a little bit of roast vanilla powder on top. And the second is a Gianfranco Earl Grey.
I think Jason's philosophy is, everything's very precise. He's constantly trying to be better, trying to be as perfect as you can.
Never, ever miss another one of these videos on Staff Canteen. Like and subscribe below, and please watch all of our videos, including ours.